It is with small and simple actions that we can change our impact on the environment. Amedeo has always been interested in sustainable issues, and his talk links perfectly to two of his biggest passions, fashion and environmental impact. Welcome, Amedeo.
Being the youngest child can sometimes be challenging. I have an older brother, Vittorio, and I guess, like all other younger brothers do, I often fill in for him. Like the time, I was forced by my parents to take his place at a fashion show during Fashion Week because he was sick. I had been forced to stop, but a fashion show. I was overwhelmed by this news, but there was no way of getting out of it. So I went to the Porte in Milan. This was the name of the event. While on my way to Milan, I kept thinking, with a name like Porte, I wonder what the location will be like. Maybe they will have it at the dumpster. After 1 hour and a half, we finally arrived, and much to my surprise, the location of the venue was a historical building dating back to the 18th centuries. Doesn't look like to me a dumpster, I thought. No rats around. It was actually really nice. Looked like a theater with red velvet curtain, but the only thing I could not figure out was why the runway was made of cardboard. Suddenly, a fast music started playing, and the show began. Well-known brands, as well as other Italian emerging designers, started doing their catwalk. The models wore clothes made of one or maximum two basic colors. But I still kept looking for the connection between rats and fashion shows, but I could not find an answer to this. Until one of the designers announced that his garments had been produced with rubbish. It was all clear to me now. The rat represents an animal which feeds on rubbish. Instead, the verb apporter means easy to wear in French. All garments had been produced with recycled materials. I was actually glad I had gone, and I decided to look further into this topic. Just like modern art, music, and dance, fashion had been very important for the evolution of man. Humans, actually, began wearing clothes to protect themselves about 170,000 years ago. Fashion is something innate. We tend to be fashionable. We feel well when we look well. We feel badly when we look poorly. It is a way of expressing our intention and emotion. But you know, we are not only the fashion-conscious ones. Did you know animals tend to decorate themselves or change their colors to attract other animals? For example, the male peacock uses its feathers to attract females. Crabs instead blend in by attaching seaweed and sponges to their shells. Fabrics have really evolved in time. Up to 1800s, with the advent of artificial fibers, natural fabrics were all we had in fashion. If you had lived 7,000 years ago in Egypt, your clothes would have been made of linen. If you happen to live in China 5,000 years ago, you could be wearing the first garments made of silk. But what about now? Have you ever thought which fabrics was used to produce your favorite clothes? Natural or synthetic? Natural fabrics such as linen, cotton, silk, and wool are made of animals or plant-based products. Instead, synthetics are man-made, such as acrylic, rayon, and polyester. Polyester is the single most textile used. But why this happen? Polyester is cheaper, long-lasting, and more durable compared to natural fabrics. But when polyester fibers are washed in washing machine, they shed minute negligible microfibers that can easily pass through our ocean and affect the marine life. It takes about more than 30 years to start to decompose in a landfill. Polyester fibers start polluting when they are extracted from fossil fuels, destroying natural habitats during the process. But you know, they are not the only bad guys. Cotton is a natural plant-based product. However, cotton undergoes multiple chemical procedures which involve additives that are often toxic for the human body. It's hard to resist to the temptation to buy products on sale, low cost, low quality, for high fashion, instead collection inspired by catwalk, instead of turning back to environmental friendly items. But now you know the impact of your option can have on the environment, and there are some simple rules that you can follow to reduce the environmental impact of your clothes. Buy less, buy better quality clothes and sustainable brands. Swap and recycle your clothes. And remember, next time you go shopping and you have a choice between a natural or a synthetic product, stop for a moment and think about the pros and the cons. Better yet, you might decide to choose a garment or shoe made of recycled materials. Thank you.